Hello friends, in this video tutorial we will see the concept of DQS and DQS cleansing. Now first of all, let us understand what is DQS. DQS means data quality services. It is a separate component in SQL Server. It is available from SQL Server 2012 onwards. Now if we want to install DQS, then we have to go to our SQL Server installation folder in Start menu, then go to DQS and then select the Server Installer option. Okay, so once you select this particular option, you will be able to install DQS into your SQL Server. Now, once this has been installed, then if you go to your database, that is SQL Server database, then you will find that there are three more databases created: DQS underscore main, DQS underscore projects, and DQS underscore staging underscore data. Now these are the three databases with the data quality services that is DQS internally uses. Okay. Now let us see the screen. So if you go to programs, then your database installation folder, then data quality services, and then after installation you select the data quality client. So once you click over this particular link, then you will have this DQS open. Okay, so in DQS we need to first of all create a knowledge base. So I have already created a knowledge base. So if you click over here, then you have to specify the name, then provide the description, and then click the next button. Okay, so it will lead you to this particular screen. So I have created a knowledge base with the name product underscore name. Now the options that I have specified is, I have created a domain rule. This domain rule is using a regular expression, and the domain rule states that between the start and the end of a string you can have A to Z, that is all in small letters, any alphabet in small letters, and the length should be between 3 to 15. So that is what I have specified. Now I have given this particular business rule, that is domain rule, the name of valid product names. Okay, then this is a default DQS underscore null is a default domain value. You can add domain values if you want. And term based relations, that is I want the value Adidas to be shown as, or to be corrected as shoes, clothes as clothes, Raymond's as clothes, and Reebok as shoes. Now before looking into this particular data or understanding this data, let us first of all see our sample data that we want to use. So in our sample data we have product name and amount. In product name we have got multiple rows, right? And not all these rows are correct. Okay, so basically this particular second row, that is clothes, is correct with the amount, but clothes has a spelling mistake. It should actually have a S, that is it should have the word clothes. Similarly, clothes 98 is again incorrect. It should again have clothes. Now shoes is correct, but Reebok and Adidas should actually be written as shoes, and Raymond should be written as clothes. And this is the item code number. Okay, this is a numeric item code number, so it is also incorrect and it should be written as shoes. So this is our example. So now let us go to DQS again to understand what we have specified. So term based relations, we are saying that Adidas and Reebok has to be shown as or corrected as shoes. Similarly, cloth without an S, right, has to be written or corrected as clothes, and Raymond's has to be corrected as clothes. Okay, so once we do this, once we have specified all this as the domain, we can click finish and it will ask us to publish. So let us publish this data. So once this has been published, so this data, inside this data cleansing, our domain product underscore name is prepared. Now we can go to new data quality project. Let us give product underscore name underscore 3. Okay, So let us give the sample name, product name 3. Right. Now what we want to do in this data quality project, we want to do cleansing of the data. We can also use matching to remove the duplicates, but in this particular example we want to do cleansing of the data. So let us click next. Now from the Excel sheet we want to do cleansing, so let us select our Excel sheet. This is the Excel sheet, right? So now in the sheet 1 the data is lying. Okay, so we want product name column from the sheet 1, and we want the domain, that is product underscore name, that we have created. Okay, so the data inside this column, that is product name column, will be validated and corrected against the domain product underscore name that we have created. Now let us click next and let us click start. So things have been processed. What it is saying is there are 2 invalid records, right? This numeric thing is invalid, right? And the cloth 98 is also invalid, correct? So what it should be written as? It should be written as shoes, right? Observe over here that in corrected tab right now there are 0 records, okay? Whereas in clothes 98 we want to correct as clothes, right? And let us approve them. Let us approve these changes. Okay, so now these 2 changes have gone to the corrected data tab, right? So this numeric item code will be converted to shoes and clothes 98 will be converted to clothes. Okay, now there are 6 new records also, which means Adidas, as we have already specified that Adidas is a valid record and it should be converted to shoes, it is automatically doing that. Similarly, cloth should be automatically converted to clothes. We already specified in the term based relation, so it is taking from there. Whereas clothes is a new value and a valid value. Then Raymond has to be substituted as clothes. We have already specified that in term based relation. Similarly, Reebok has to be substituted to shoes. We have already specified that in term based relation. And shoes again is a new value. So all our 8 records have been processed correctly. Now let us click next. Okay, so this is the output. This is the output data preview. Okay, so what will happen? Cloth will remain as it is. It will be considered as a new value. Cloth without the S will be converted into clothes. Cloth 98 into clothes. Shoes will remain as it is. Reebok and Adidas will be converted into shoes. Raymond's will be converted into clothes, and numeric item code will be converted into shoes, right? So this is what will happen. Now we can export this result into SQL server or a CSV file or an Excel file. Okay, so once we select the output format and click finish, then we can export our data, right? And we have the option of either exporting data only or data in the cleansing info. So this is about the data quality projects, that is which is inside the data quality services. So right now we are using this domain, that is this knowledge base, within data quality services using data quality projects. But what if we want to utilize this knowledge base, that is this domain created inside data quality services, into SSIS? So for that you go to SSIS. First of all, we will have to take a Excel source, and we have configured this Excel source to read data from this particular Excel sheet, right, where our data is lying. So we have configured the Excel source to point to our Excel sheet. Now this is the component DQS cleansing, right? This is the component with the help of which we can use the knowledge base created in data quality services inside our SSIS project. Okay, so what we have done is we have just added this DQS in our package. Then let us double click and configure it. We have made it point to the server where you have installed the DQS, that is the server which has got all these 3 databases. Okay, so we have made it to point to that particular server. Now inside that server it has already found 2 knowledge bases. So we have selected the knowledge base that we have created, that is data cleansing. Inside that there is a product underscore name domain Okay, so in the second tab, in mapping tab, we have said that we want, out of the Excel sheet there are two columns, and we want product name column to be mapped. So that's what has been specified. Okay, let us click OK. Now we are just taking the output, we are just writing the output from DQS cleansing into a flat file destination. Okay, and in between we have introduced data viewer so that we can view what data is going. So now let us run. So as we can see, whatever changes were or whatever conversion of data was happening inside data quality services, similar conversion is happening inside SSIS. Okay, so close remains close, close is converted to close. Now this particular record is marked as invalid. In SSIS, we do not have option of changing the value at runtime, which we had in data quality services, right? In data quality project, we could change the value at runtime, but in SSIS, we cannot change the value at runtime. But definitely SSIS will show us, based on the business rules defined in domain, which particular record is invalid. So that's what it is showing us, that this is invalid. Whereas shoes, Reebok, Adidas, Raymonds, all these have proper substitutes and they are all shown as valid new records. Whereas this numeric digits, right, representing an item code is again shown as an invalid record. So which means if you process the data, DQS knowledge base inside SSIS, then you can definitely process your data, but for all these invalid records, you will have to do extra processing. That is, after this particular task gets over, then you have to again go into a table or a file where you store this output. Generally, we store this in a table. So you have to visit that table again, and you have to then do appropriate necessary corrective steps for the invalid records. Okay, be applying the business rules. So I hope friends, this particular video tutorial on DQS data cleansing and DQS concept as a whole, that is data quality services concept as a whole, is quite useful to you. Thank you.